Well, a grand time was had by all. Around March 19th or maybe 20th, my big bro asked me if, on March 21st, 2025, if I wanted to go with him and his family to see the Sonic 3 movie. And I said, sure, why not? But of course, I knew the movie was going to be dubbed over in Swedish. Now, the reason why I said yes to my big bro's invitation was because I just wanted to spend some quality time with my nephews. I wanted to be an uncle. Simple as that. And while we were sitting in the car on our way to the cinema, while on our way there, I actually said to the gang, hey everybody, how much do you want to bet that maybe Rouge the Bat may make an appearance? Maybe. And to my surprise, mostly everybody was all like, what? Who is Rouge the Bat? And I was all like, come on, from Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Don't you remember? And then fast forward when we are at the Filmstaden in Kista. And this has to be my first time ever in a cinema where I didn't buy any popcorn or any soda or any snacks or anything like that. You see, I'm somebody who is doing a no coffee, no cola challenge. Meaning, as somebody who's been on cola and coffee since my teens, I'm trying to challenge myself by not drinking any cola and coffee. And I've started since November 2024 and... my goodness. It hurts. It hurts so much. And that's why I decided not to buy any cola, coffee, snacks, chips, chocolate or anything like that in the cinema. It's not good for me. It isn't good for me. Especially now that I'm in my 30s, the only thing that I bought for the cinema was a plastic mug of Earl Grey tea. Now, the one who paid for the snacks for the kids was of course Big Bro, except I paid for my own tea. But I remember that I bought my oldest nephew a frozen cola slush or something like that. I gave him a large bucket. And that's okay. I mean, if my two nephews would like something, like Pokemon cards or candy or anything else later on into the future when they become teenagers or something like that, then sure, I'll foot the bill for them. I'll happily pay for it. Happily. Because I love those boys. I love my nephews. Like an uncle. And then we sat down in our seats and, this kind of takes me back when I was a kid, when I used to watch the Spy Kids movies, and if memory serves me well, I think the Pokemon movies too. I used to watch with my big bro, the first and second movie, the Mewtwo movie, the Lugia movie, I think, yeah? And any more movies that were dubbed over in Swedish, like the first two Harry Potter movies, and a little bit of the third movie. I didn't finish the third Harry Potter movie, I think it was just 20 minutes in. But yeah, when I was a kid who didn't speak any English, I would only watch movies and cartoons that were dubbed over in Swedish. And here I am in my 30s watching a kids movie for my two nephews dubbed in Swedish. When it came to the dubbing over of the Sonic 3 movie into Swedish, it feels strange that when Jim Carrey opens his mouth and when the Swedish dub kicks in, it looks and feels strange that it's not the voice of Jim Carrey I'm hearing, but the voice of a dubber, except it doesn't feel so weird when it comes to Sonic and Tails and Knuckles and what have you. That's not strange at all. And I am not a big fan of Swedish dub over of live action kids movies and cartoons anymore as I used to. I mean, Swedish dub over, that was back when I was a kid and I couldn't speak any English. But anyways, as I was saying about the Sonic 3 movie, while I was watching the movie with my big bro and his family, I always thought in my head, I played Sonic Adventure 2 Battle on the GameCube a long time ago. I know exactly how this movie is going to play out, and I know in my heart and mind that Rouge the Bat just has to make an appearance. She has to. She's not in the beginning of the movie. That's okay. Next scene. Any moment now. Next scene. Any moment now. Next scene. Any moment now. And I always had Rouge the Bat in my back burner as we were watching the movie. while Sonic and Shadow were up in space fighting, I slowly, piece by piece, started to remember things that happened in the game. One scene that I remembered very strongly that came from SA2 Battle on the GameCube was when Sonic, Tails and Knuckles was about to jump off the helicopter. And then Sonic adds a snarky comment about how it was a low-budget flight, how there is no movie and no snacks, and oh, flashbacks to Adventure 2! He actually said that! He said the line! He said the thing! And I also couldn't help but notice how they played Live and Learn for the final scene. That was awesome, by the way. That was so cool. Which did not surprise me, by the way. I had a feeling they would play Live and Learn. And something else I started to remember as I was watching was when they fired the Ark. And as soon as Shadow pushed the Ark to the side, then I started to figure out, oh, I know what's going to happen. It's going to destroy chunks of the moon, I think. And it did. And by the way, it wasn't actually Shadow that accidentally blew up pieces of the moon, but in actuality, it was Dr. Eggman who did that in the game. And it happened prior, and Dr. Eggman did that in order to show planet Earth that he meant business. And then, spoilers by the way, after the movie was over, I kinda realized, what? No Rouge the Bat! Even though Sonic 3 is supposed to be something of a retelling of Adventure 2. I was all like, what? They cut out Rouge the Bat? No, she was actually crucial in the game. How could they? They even cut out Biolizard. So, no Biolizard either. Oh, and no Amy Rose. Oh, and by the way, it wasn't supposed to be that it was Shadow that was supposed to power up Space Colony Ark. No, that's not how it is. It was in fact the Chaos Emeralds, and they changed that in the movie as well, by the way. I mean, I thought for a second there that the movie was going to be at least a little bit more faithful to the game, that they were gonna go and hunt down the Chaos Emeralds. But again, with the absence of Rouge the Bat, it probably wouldn't have been a good idea after all. I mean, you know what? When I really think about it, why put Rouge the Bat in the movie when she can't even treasure hunt the Chaos Emeralds and bring them up to Ark? Another thing that I noticed with the movie was that it took place in the year 2024, but in Adventure or Adventure 2, I think it took place in the late 90s or early 2000s. So the fact that they say 50 years ago in the movie feels a bit strange. That it's the 1970s, while in the game, when they say 50 years ago, they mean the 1940s, 1950s? I mean, that's the one thing I like to point out is Maria's attire. In some scenes, she's wearing those 1970s disco pants, but in certain scenes, she is wearing her 1950s sundress, if I'm saying that correctly? 1950s dress? So this feels kinda weird, that she's wearing sets of clothes from two different eras. I'm guessing they let her have her 1950s dress to be more recognizable with the games, I guess. Now, liberties were taken and scenes were changed, but that doesn't mean I hate this movie. I don't. I thought this movie was very enjoyable, but as I am somebody who did go through Sonic Adventure 2 Battle on the GameCube, of course, I couldn't help but be a little bit nitpicky and let down a little bit. Especially when, as I've been trying to point out, when certain characters play a crucial role in the game, like Rouge the Bat for example, or Biolizard and Amy Rose, like I've been trying to say, that I thought it was a little bit disappointing that Amy wasn't exactly in the story of the movie, or at least she didn't play a part of the story, like in the game. I mean, Amy may not have been a playable character in Adventure 2, except in the battle split screen sections, but she was important. But I'm surprised that the Sonic 3 movie decided to cut out Rouge and Amy and Biolizard. Yes, the Biolizard fight was missing, which also meant that Biolizard doesn't use Chaos Control to become Final Hazard. Man. Oh man. Imagine that, huh? The inclusion of the Biolizard fight with the song Supporting Me playing in the background. I get goosebumps thinking about that. That would have been an awesome scene, by the way. If they would have included that, that would have been so awesome. But alas, they didn't. How disappointing. And then after, when the movie was over and we got to the post-credits, to my surprise, there is going to be a fourth movie, which allegedly, if this is true, allegedly is going to release 2027. I'm gonna be in my mid-30s then. But anyways, during the post-credits, I was surprised to see Metal Sonic and double shock, Amy Rose. What? Now, when we came to the post-credits, I was in fact glad to see Amy make an appearance, but at the same time a little bit disappointed. So I thought to myself, oh, that's too bad, Amy. You're late for the party. The party's already over. You went there to play your part and tell Shadow, oh hey Shadow, you shouldn't hate humans. It shouldn't be like this. Just like in Adventure 2. Too bad. But regardless, I was surprised to see that Amy is going to be in the fourth movie. And why am I not surprised that in this culture, in this environment and day and age, she is not going to be this damsel in distress that Sonic is going to save from a high voltage powered tower or something like that. The movie wanted to make it very clear that this isn't the past anymore, this isn't the 90s, and the movie wanted me to know that Amy is more, you could say, close to Boom Amy, you could say. That is, in terms of her character, behavior and actions, so it seems. Though she wasn't voiced, the movie wanted to make it clear that she is going to be something of an action girl, so it looked to me. Alright, now, I'm going to give this review a final verdict and then move on with my life and wait for the fourth movie. You guys ready? Despite my complaints, despite them changing scenes up and down and left and right in the movie, I thought it was very enjoyable. And so, I'm gonna give this movie a 9 out of 10. My only negative for this movie is in fact that when they tried to adapt Adventure 2 into this movie, they took so many liberties that it doesn't feel that recognizable anymore. But regardless, it didn't stop my enjoyment and how much I like this movie.